Good morning, Smarties, and happy Monday. Happy Hat Day for our Spirit Week this week. I am here with your math lesson for today, and it's actually our very last lesson in our EnVisions book. So, we are on lesson 15.4, and like I said, it's our last lesson. So, after today, our math EnVisions book is done, and then we're just going to be reviewing money and having some fun with money. So, your lesson for today, your I can statement, well, you're modeling with math. So, I'm going to give you kind of like a story problem, and then you're going to use what you've learned about circles and rectangles and halves and fourths to see if you can solve the problem. Your I can statement is, I can make a drawing or diagram to show a problem about equal shares. So remember we were talking about equal shares with circles and rectangles. So here is your question. You need a piece of paper and a pencil. That's it. Or a whiteboard can work as well. Okay, so Mary's blanket. So what I want you to do right now, pick up your pencil, and I want you to draw, okay, a rectangular blanket. A blanket shaped like a rectangle. Ooh, mine's a little lopsided. Not quite even. But that is my rectangle, okay? So that is my blanket shaped like a rectangle. That is what I want you to draw, okay? So, Mary's blanket, that's your blanket you just drew, is divided into two shares. Two equal shares. Can't forget that word equal. Two equal shares. So now I want you to divide your blanket, that rectangle you just drew, into two equal shares. So you should have two equal shares, two parts. One share of the blanket is yellow and the other is orange. How can you describe the share of the blanket that is yellow? Complete the sentence below, then draw and color the blanket to show your work. So, you should have now two shares of your blanket. Okay? I want you to color one of those shares yellow. So yellow crayon, yellow marker, yellow color pencil, yellow. And the other share of the blanket was orange. Okay? So you should have a blanket in the shape of a rectangle and one share, and it should be divided into two equal shares. However you divided it, it should be two equal shares. Okay? One of the shares should be yellow and one of the shares should be orange. Now I want you to fill in the blank. One blank of the blanket is yellow. One what? 1/4? 1/2? One of those. Which one? Say it out loud. Okay, one blank of the blanket is yellow. That means blank of the blank shares is yellow. So how many parts are yellow? One. Of the how many shares do you have total? Two is yellow. Okay, so one, and if you said half, you are right, of the blanket is yellow, and one of the two shares is yellow. So let's check our work together, and then we'll do our visual. Okay, so here was my blanket in the shape of a rectangle, and I had to divide it into two equal shares. So I decided to divide it straight down the middle, going vertical, up and down. You could have gone across, horizontal, and you could have also gone corner to corner, like a diagonal. That's all equal shares, cut in half. Okay, then you had to color half, so 1 share yellow and 1 share orange. Then you needed to fill in the blank down here. 1 half of the blanket is yellow. 1 half. These aren't fourths, these are halves. So 1 half of it is yellow. The other half is orange. So that means of the 2 shares is yellow. So if we look at that as a fraction, remember you take the part. The part goes on top. So 1, that's the part that we're talking about is yellow. Out of how many do you have total? 2. That makes half. Half of the blanket is yellow. Okay, so that's like our problem solving, our sharing. Now we're going to watch our visual to see what our visual has to say.
Miss Rose's curtain is divided into 4 equal shares. She dyes 2 shares red and 2 shares blue. How can you describe the shares of the curtain that are red? What are you trying to find out? You are trying to find out how to describe the shares that are red. What do you know? You know that there are 4 equal shares. You also know that 2 shares are red and 2 shares are blue. Can pictures and objects be used to show the problem? Yes, you can draw a picture of the curtain. How can a picture help you?
So that's a question for you. How can a picture help you? How does a picture help you? Maybe turn to someone that's close to you, or just kind of talk it through yourself. How can a picture help you? I know how a picture can help me, okay, because I'm a visual learner, so I actually like to see it. I like to see my drawing, and then I can talk myself or work through it by actually doing it. Drawing the picture and drawing how many parts are red or how many parts are blue, so then I can see it at the end. Let's see what they say.
You can see how many shares are red and how many are blue.
There you go.
When you draw a picture to solve a problem, you need to draw all the parts. So, draw a picture of the curtain with 4 equal shares. You can color in the equal shares to match the problem.
Okay, so we get to try it. Or you can do it at home too if you want. You can draw your rectangle or your curtain, and you can draw 4 equal shares. Doesn't have to be like this too. You could have always gone down the middle and then across the middle horizontal, then you have like a window. But let's see. So it says drag the blue stripes and red stripes into the curtain design to count the number of red shares. We're gonna do a pattern. So how many red shares do you have total? 1, 2.
You draw a picture to show how the quantities in the problem are related. How can you describe the shares that are red? You can describe the shares that are red by looking at the drawing and counting how many equal shares there are in all, and how many equal shares are red. How many shares are red? Select your answer.
So how many are red? Count how many shares are red. Out of how many altogether? So you should have got 2 that are red, and you have 4 total. So 2 out of 4 are red.
There are 4 equal shares in all, and 2 shares are red. So 2 out of 4 shares are red. You can use words to describe the drawing. The drawing shows 4 equal shares. 2 of 4 shares are red.
Drawing a picture can help you solve a problem.
All right. So, that was our visual. Now we're going to go on to your independent practice. So this, you're going to want to pause it after I go over it and then do it on either a whiteboard or on paper. So you're going to need, you can have colors, but you're going to need paper and pencil. And then you just have 2 practice problems that I want you to do. And then if you want to do more math, you can always do, like I said, some of those pages. If your parent printed out some of those practice pages, those are great math pages to do. Or maybe your April packet isn't quite done. You can work on those math pages. But you just have 2 practice problems for today. So, after I read through them and explain what you're going to do, then you can pause it so it stays up on the screen so you have it to refer to. So, you're going to do problems 2 and 3. Okay, 2 says, Tracy's pizza is cut into halves. She eats 1 of the shares. How many shares of the pizza does she eat? Okay, so your pizza can either be a circle pizza or it can be a rectangular pizza. Okay, it doesn't have to be circle, but like I said, you need to draw a pizza, whether it's a circle or rectangle. I don't want triangles, squares. It's either a circle pizza or a pizza in the shape of a rectangle. So Tracy's pizza is cut into halves. Now, once you draw your pizza, okay, you're gonna cut it into halves. So think about what halves means. Then it says she eats 1 of the shares. I want you to shade in, color in 1 of the shares. That's the share that she ate. You're coloring it in. That's the share that Tracy ate. How many shares of the pizza does she eat? Okay, so it says right here, Tracy eats blank out of blank equal shares. So just like when we did our solve and share, you're going to fill it in. Tracy eats how many did you shade in, out of how many total shares did you have? Okay, that's the first one. The next one, number 3, is Mia. Okay, here we go. Mia cut her sandwich into quarters. So right now I want you to draw a rectangle. And I want you to cut that rectangle into quarters or fourths. So you should have 4 equal shares. 2 of the shares have cheese. So now I want you to color 2 of those equal shares yellow. That is going to represent cheese. What share of the sandwich does not have cheese? So you should have 2 of the shares colored in yellow. How many are not colored in of your fourths? So then you would fill out down here, blank, out of blank shares do not have cheese. So you're going to count how many aren't yellow, how many don't have cheese, out of how many total equal shares are there. Okay, do not have cheese, and that would be your fraction. Okay, so those are your 2 practice problems I want you to do. I kind of walked you through them so you could either now pause it and do them, or if you were doing them with me, okay, you can always pause it and then start it and then pause it and then start it because I kind of walked you through it. So those are the 2 practice problems I want you to do. After that, math is done. Our EnVisions book is done. Check. We can check that off our list. We're still going to do some math this week. It's just going to be some little mini lessons on money and working with counting money, trading money, and just getting comfortable with coins and dollar bills. So that is what we're going to do the rest of the week. But that is it for math today. So, bye, Smarties. I will be back with your science lesson in a little bit. Bye.